Yo, welcome to the Doghouse podcast. You're here with Zach Bad Company Mills, and I'm with my great buddy today. I call him my big brother because he kind of really is. He's just like one of these. Well, I'm old. You are old. That's true. You are. I mean, but so am I, right? Like, you know, I'm thinking the other day I had Andre Case in here, and like for the hard drive days, and man, this dude, it's been like 12 years, bro, since we started fighting. And it's like, I'm hiding my face behind stuff like that. It's been over a decade, bro.
Over a decade. This is wild. I was like, God, just glad I discovered you. I told my wife last night as we were heading home, how cool is it? I saw this guy fight. I saw you on the internet. I'm like, I really like this guy. This guy's one of my favorite fighters. I love that. And now you have me for your podcast, and I consider you a friend. That's really...
Man, I love that. And like I said, I told you yesterday, man, I'm really just trying to be more like you, for real. It's like, every time I turn around, you got your hand in something else. You're helping somebody else out. You got this, you're on this mission, you're on that mission. And a bunch of people hit me yesterday and they got a kick out of the conversation with Zach Mills. It was like a double espresso. Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.
And there's some truth to that. But you hold your energy level, like mine is peaks and valleys, right?
Okay.
And like, I will peak out so high that I'll be in a valley for a couple of days. You just like, and maybe I'm wrong, but like you hold this certain level across the board. Like there's not really, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you have Pete, you're super excited about this and super not excited about this. But like, man, you're just at a high level all the time. Like you don't really fluctuate a whole lot.
I try real hard. And I use anything and everything I can. And I meant what I said yesterday when I posted that, yesterday I was just, man, I had just finished cleaning my house and I wasn't really feeling going to the gym.
You can feel it in your voice a little bit.
Yeah, I needed it. And so after I talked to you, I was like, all right, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go get this done.
I love it.
And so, yeah, right after I got off the phone with you, the first time you called, I was in the middle of the thing with some kids and I had a whole nother thing to do. I had to get my workout in. So it really helped yesterday. But yeah, I try. It comes better with age, you know.
I believe that to be true. I think, and again, I don't know a crap load about you. I just know like I vibe with you. I love you crazy. But I think when you operate at a certain standard for a long period of time and you're constantly at this certain standard and you're one of these guys where, you know, I don't want to get weird. Like when you say something, you're going to do it. You stand on 10 toes. You're about it.
Yes, sir.
You don't just like, you know, bring the hype train for no reason because tickets are sold out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, bring the hype train because the tickets are sold out.
Well, I mean, and I might not be, people have a hard time figuring me out. And I'm historically one of the most misjudged people I know. Like, I don't know.
That's why we get along.
Is it? I don't have a lot of friends at all, let alone a lot of friends that I know that people look at and immediately misjudge, right? And so I revel in that as often as possible. I do things that I like to do, and I try to hustle to make some money when I can.
Yeah,
it makes the world go round.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate to be with a partner and my beautiful wife that encourages me to be myself. You know, she wants me to be myself. She wants me to be the best version of myself. And I do her. So we keep each other going in that regard.
It is Lori, right?
Yes, sir.
And I haven't got to like sit down and meet Lori. I know I've high-fived her here or there. And, you know, you guys have been in my fights, which shout out to the black Jordan bucket hat. God damn it.
You know, it's my favorite.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Let's do it here with you.
Oh, my gosh. It's awesome. So how long have you and Lori been together?
We've been together. It will be 16 years in November.
That is awesome.
But married will be 2 years in August.
So think about this, right? This is about the exact thing that I just said.
Yep.
When you operate at a standard for so long, and I'm sure you guys, 16 years together, you've pushed her to be better. She's pushed you to be better. You guys have both stood at a standard for a certain period of time. I think it's almost hard to get out of that just as well as it's hard to get into that. Like people say, well, you can spiral down the staircase. You can spiral up the staircase too.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and it's like when you get caught in a standard for that long, it's like, man, it's like, it's not even a choice. It's not even something that goes off in your head like, well, should I do this? It's just, hey, this is what we're doing today. We've been doing this 16 years. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. And I try to, you know, it's evolved And it's had its peaks and valleys. I mean, we went to our lowest point together, and now we're just still working our way to a higher point from there.
I love that.
8 years away from having stopped drinking alcohol. It's actually 8 years. Awesome. March 17th. Yeah. St. Patty's Day.
That is awesome.
St. Patty's Day 2018. We both stopped drinking, and that's been another huge part of it. Turning the whole thing around. I've lived a lot of lives. I'm not a vampire. Yeah. But looking back at my about to be 50 years, I've done a lot of things. And now I'm just so happy now to just get to be around fighters in the fight game and boxing and kickboxing and MMA and just learning something new at such a late age. I sit around all the time and think, you need to learn something new. You're not learning anything new. And then I remember this. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yes, you are. You know, yeah, anything. And yeah, this could be a lot of these.
That's awesome, Phil. And that's really the way to look at it. I think, at least, like when I came back, you know, I knew that I had fought in MMA as a pro at one point in time. So no matter what I wanted to do, if it was going to become competitive at all, I was going to have to be a pro. And so I thought, man, I could come back to MMA, but it's something I've already done. I've won some fights. I've lost some fights. I spent a decade or a touch more over in that game. And I was like, I want to be a part of something bigger than myself.
Okay.
And I want to learn something completely different that I've never fucking even gotten to the waters with. Sweet. And that's how boxing came, straight up. And it wasn't because, like, I wanted to chase belts and be the man. It was just like originally being part of something bigger than myself, you know, like trying to, you know, you got kids. Your kids are awesome, by the way. They freaking love your kids. For me, it's like I've got to create some sort of a thing outside of that, because like your kids are going to carry your stuff on, and I get to be in the gym with all these kids and I get to make them better. And though I'm not the man, because I'm fighting 500 professionally right now. Those 2 bar fights before that were regular guys, you know what I mean? Which was cool, don't get me wrong. We trained, we fought regular guys. But that's kind of lately where I found I'm getting my little bit of a niche. But I run into problems, for real, JB. I run into problems because, you know, I'm not the man. I don't know it all. You know, and here I am coaching some of these boxers, and I want them to be great, but I haven't been there myself. And I know I'm good at what I do. I'm not taking anything away from that. I just don't know how to meet myself in the middle sometimes. I mean that.
I can totally, absolutely 100% relate. I can totally relate to that. And the only, you know, not saying you're even asking for advice, but I mean,
no, I want to hear it. This is part of the reason I can do this.
You know, the only thing I could think of is I've had to just become, well, first of all, and this has been part of the whole bigger process, is becoming more humble. Yeah, and trying to set my ego aside, because I've got a huge ego. I'm a very cocky dude, and I'm just trying not to be so much of that, and open up my ears, man, and listen. So when I brought Lorelei to work out with you, you know, it may be 1 or 2 little things about the way you train or the way you approach footwork, you know, you approach the bag, and we take that and put it in our bag.
Yep,
of stuff we've gathered from.
And you have that. That's awesome. I love that, because you have to.
Yep.
Even though I'm not the man, we live in Iowa. We don't have ATT here.
Right.
Now, if ATT was here, I could probably come to the consensus that would be the only gym you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seriously. But, you know, and you guys are out in Keokuk.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from Keokuk. You know, I was thinking the other day, when you guys had that big storm out there 2 years ago, I was out there tarping houses.
Were you really?
Man, I was on the news. I'll show you the skit when we get out of here. I was on the news in Keokuk.
Wow.
God has been putting us together for a long time, bro. I mean that.
And that's the way it works. Amen. That's the way.
Gosh, I love it. That's awesome. I mean that. Gosh, that's awesome.
People in your orbit, you know, and then eventually.
Bro, it's so real. It's crazy. And like I tell these guys, not to get off topic, but, you know, I tell these guys all the time, it's a 3-step process for me, at least in my brain. First is you start thinking about it. And you're letting your brain know that you're thinking about this thing. Something's going on up there. The wheels are turning.
All right.
Okay. Then you're talking about it. Now, when you're talking about it, you're hearing yourself talk about this stuff. So you're changing everything in your brain without even knowing that you're changing these things. You are telling yourself physically and you're hearing yourself say, these things are possible.
Couldn't agree more.
This thing could happen. Well, now all of a sudden, you start thinking there's a chance.
Yeah.
And now you got this, what was all that 1 in a million talk? Now you're thinking there's a chance. Yep. And so you start thinking there's a chance and you start taking these baby steps towards trying to make that thing happen, make that come true. And dude, it's, I guess I don't know the definition of manifestation, but that's got to be it.
Oh, absolutely. So what you just described as far, and I'll just, shuck it down to the cob of combat sports and boxing is my journey of the last 9 years to where I am sitting right now today. Like, and I've talked to my wife about this because she's the person I bounce stuff off of when I don't want to sound like I'm being like braggy or cocky, but I'm like, yeah, isn't it cool that, so I was sitting in a hotel room in 2017 and a Lomachenko fight came on and I was like,
oh, it's awesome, by the way.
Right. I was like, who is this guy? And it was the third fight in a row where the guy quit on him. And he got the name Lomachenko because his footwork and his technique was so good, guys were quitting on him. And that was what sparked me back into really wanting to get back into watching boxing.
Yep.
Then we moved here and I started talking about, I wanted to get a bag to incorporate the bag into my workouts. Then my daughter said, I want to box. So we talked about it, thought about it. My pastor preaches this. You talk about it, you think about it. And then I never put it like you did so eloquently, the baby steps.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're in a boxing gym. So, you're in a different boxing gym. Next thing you know, you're at National Silver Gloves. And then after that, podcast with the great Zach DeMille.
Man, it's funny. God damn it, dude. It's crazy that it's like that. But yeah, no, and it gives me chills because that's the truth. I look at people like your daughter, for example. Man alive, if I had half, not even half, if I had a quarter of the skills that she had at her age, imagine where I'd be today. Yeah. That's the truth. Because, man, I'm telling you.
Well, thank you. She works hard.
She does. But, a lot of this is this, Joey. And you know this because we're older. We both understand this concept. These guys have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm chasing shit down. I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 in July.
Yeah.
These guys got a lot of time. When else?
Long.
So it's one of those things where it's like, don't rush it too much. Especially at her age, man, she's got a long ways to go. And she's going to be great to watch along the way. I'm excited about it.
Well, she had some fear and some doubt, recently.
Yeah.
And so we overcame that. And then we didn't get an opponent at Iowa Silver Gloves, but she was in great shape. So then we kind of we stopped, we still trained, but not like we were in training camp. And she's doing school basketball, doing school track, getting ready for softball and stuff. But we maybe 2-3 days a week, we'll go to the gym. And after taking more time away from it, she seems more ready for a fight now than she's ever been. Is that normal? Is that a normal thing where you take 2 weeks off and you feel sharp when you come back?
It can be that way. Some of it is just like negotiating the fear in your head.
Negotiating the fear in your head.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, no matter what, sparring sucks. I'm not going to see, but I'm 35. I still don't like it, bro. I've never liked it. It's just never a comfortable sport.
Yeah,
but it's important to step over those blocks of fear to get your brain in the spot where it needs to be. And it'll never be there if you don't do the stuff that's hard. There's just no way and I said this a million times, women are a little bit different than men, but men, for example, I'm a blue collar guy. I put the lid on, strap it up. I go to work. Nobody's going to come up to me and like rub me softly on the back and tell me, hey, let's try to do this a little bit better next time. And maybe I'm going to get it. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not. He's going to put his foot in my ass and tell me how to do it the right way. And I'm going to do it the right way.
There you go.
I think women can be a little bit different. Sometimes they're more on the less foot in the ass, more encouragement side.
Yeah.
Than that. But as far as me, it's a baby step into getting my brain to feel like I'm confident enough to go and get this task done. And however you got to sell it to yourself, like I sell it to myself like I'm getting better no matter what, regardless of whether it's tough or it's not tough or whatever the steps that we're taking we have to take. those steps are going to make us better. And if we don't do that, we're kind of sitting stagnant. For me, it's hard because I've been out of the game for a while because, I broke my hand. But coming back, I'm super fired up. But it's been more than 2 weeks, It's been 8-9 weeks or whatever. But man, I'm super fired up. I think kids' brains work in even like a smaller time span than that, right? So if 2 weeks for her, she's probably ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? She's ready to get in there and whoops the butt.
Well, when she lets go of a jab here lately, there's more snap on it.
Ooh, I love to hear that.
And she's growing into her side. But I mean, what you were talking about, it's a book I've been reading, Inner Excellence. One of the key foundational points of it is everything is happening for your good.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, how crappy it is, how bad it hurts at the time. If you can get to the point where you realize that and then have gratitude all the time.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
That is the hard part.
Kids, my daughter, Lorelei, if I could talk about her for a minute, we identified really early that she was extremely competitive. And
you can't teach Joey. That's one thing that you can't give in the gym. You are or you aren't.
And it's honestly been a couple of year process now, maybe since she was 10, 11, of getting her not to get too down on herself when things go wrong, because you can't get attached to results.
I'm the same Joey. I'm the same way.
But training her and working with her, and this is how, not just boys versus girls, all kids, period, and all people are different. Like the great football coach Jimmy Johnson used to say, you can't coach a whole team the same way. You got to coach every player a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so my daughter Lorelei, my older daughter, you got to get under her skin.
Yep.
And sometimes I can do that really easily, really quietly. And then some days I do that and my neighbors think I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing about it with Lorelei is she's been behind the curtain. She's seen the puppet strings and she knows that it's all part of a game that I'm playing. It's not right. It's more about mental jujitsu and like trying to get her motivated.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get her really mad and she'll do really well. And I'm like, see? And then she'll smile like, you got me.
Right.
Dang it, you got me. My daughters, my younger daughter, not the same way.
Yeah.
Very competitive, very good athlete herself. But if I were to treat her the same way, she wouldn't succeed. She would have to completely coach her a different way when I'm working out with her.
Yep. I agree.
Anyhow, thanks for having me, man.
Man, dude, I'm doing it. Yeah, no, I love it. And we're probably 30 minutes deep. I'm gonna have you on again because I could just talk to you forever. But one of the things that I really want to get better at, and this is something that I think you're really good at, and I think a lot about you. I think a lot about like the things that you do, how you present yourself, stuff like that. Because man, it's even at my age, it's important for us to have some people to look up to too, like for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
No bullshit. It's for real.
Too, absolutely.
And so I often think about like,
thank you.
I'm so passionate when it comes to fighting in my own guys. And I'm sure you are too. And like our guys fight each other. We're not, those things are going to happen for the next 10 years, probably,
by the grace of God, I hope so.
Yeah, no. And it has to, this is real competition, these guys, which takes me to another different thing. I could talk forever, but in our realm of what we're doing, these guys are trying to feed their families. They're chasing dreams down. They're doing real shit. We would hope so, at least. Just fighting locally is not, I'm not saying anything against it, but like, this isn't really necessarily the game you join just because you feel like it,
Right.
Getting punched in the head and things like that and brain damage and stuff like that. This isn't just a softball game that you haven't trained all week. You're just going to go play ball. That's not how it goes.
No, you're putting your safety on the line.
Yeah. And so it has to be scary. And there's really no way around that. I use the scary stuff to push me forward. That's how I stay in the gym. That's how I keep my wits about me, because I am scared, and if you're not, I feel like maybe you're not necessarily training to the degree that you should probably be training at, but at that same token, going back to what you said about being cocky, I think lately I've had a hard time finding the line between being cocky and also carrying myself to a certain standard. You know what I mean by that? Because there is a difference. There's a difference so in our game, Joey, and even you, even though you're not competing professionally, okay, in our game, you carry yourself differently. And you can't say that you don't. You can't say, we are combat athletes. We are the 1% of the world.
Right.
99% of the people are paying to watch it on Saturday night. We are the 1%.
Yep.
You kind of hold yourself differently when you are that way. I mean, I try to think of the way to explain it, but it's like, I don't want to feel like, it's not like I'm better than you, right?
Right.
But I'm also the one giving you the show. You guys are the one paying to see it.
Absolutely.
And so I kind of have a hard time drawing that line sometimes. You do a fantastic job with all of your guys, and like how you communicate things, and like how you take things in stride. Man, you do a freaking fantastic job. That's one thing I'm focused on that I want to try to get better at. I mean, for real.
Thanks so much. I mean, so the movie Bull Durham comes to mind.
Oh, great movie.
Fear and Arrogance.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so otherwise, what I'm hearing out of you is you figured out that you're the main character, right? You've got what the kids say today, the main character, the energy or whatever.
Yeah.
See, I think I figured that out about myself when I was like 5.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, here's the thing though. Everyone, in my opinion, everyone's got that.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's true.
But your story is your story. My story is my story. My movie, my story, my sonnet, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
It's mine. But if you're the main character, which you are, Zach, you're the main character in your movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah, so for sure.
So that's the thing. But there are going to be between the second and third act, there's going to be pitfalls.
Yeah, I know for sure. Hey, that part I know for a fact.
But yeah,
that part I know for sure.
So I hear what you're saying, and yeah,
how do you do it? Because I'm going to tell you, like, I think you're a hell of a guy, and I know you already think that, and I've said it 1,000 times. But like, how do you do it? Because I mean, I think a lot about you. I think that you have that certain shit about you to walk and talk and carry yourself a certain way, and you do. But you do a great job at separating that. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't do nearly as good of a job.
I stay confident that if people just get to know me, they'll see through the bullshit that they probably took a one look at me and were like, oh, look at that.
Hey, and you look good, by the way. Freaking biceps are huge.
Thanks.
Man alive, you look good.
Well, I work out really hard. I eat really good. And I'm trying to live a better and healthier life. But again, I mean, we're in Iowa. It's really conservative here.
Yep.
So for a guy that dresses like me and has a nose ring and a mohawk at 50 years old, so people are looking at me going, what is wrong with that guy? Yep. And I get that. And it used to bother me. And again, I said earlier, I'm very misunderstood.
Yeah.
People take one look at me and think they know who they're looking at. Yep. And I just have to remain confident that if they want to talk to me and they want to ask me questions or get to know me, they're going to realize that behind whatever facade I seem to have created, that there's a real guy.
Yep.
And I'm not fake. There's nothing fake about me.
Yep.
It's a whole thing.
Yep.
And that's the best I can put it. But with you, you're the same way. You're for real. And you remind me of a friend of mine in Texas named Jason Gurney. I just loved, and he's not a fighter. He's a great guy. He's a family man. He's a football fan. It's a really good friend of mine, but his energy is like yours. And I knew coming over here, I'm like, I better bring my energy. I heard the song Cars, Let the Good Times Roll with
yeah.
Son, I'm awesome. This is the perfect lead up song to pull into Zach. I say, I'm off a good times roll, because Zach is gonna, no matter what's happened in your day, and this is what I need to get better at, Zach. It seems like no matter what's been going on in your life, because the last time I came over and trained, there were some things you do not you don't let your empathy bring everyone else down. Ever, it seems like.
And I try my best. No, I try my best. I think there's a lot of truth to that. I will definitely say, I've been going through some heavy stuff, and man, my team has been there for me. And that has been huge. That has been just huge. But as a whole, yeah, because you know, and again, that goes back to like being a part of something bigger than yourself. Like these guys got fights coming up. I see you training these guys. You got your guys, they got fights coming up. Now, these guys are chasing their dreams and they're doing their thing. Though they love us, they don't care about what we got going on. And they're chasing, you know, I'm not saying they don't care. That's not how I mean it. But like, they've got their own dreams and aspirations and things that they're literally chasing down in this moment right now.
Yeah.
And so that keeps me away from thinking about shit my own self. That keeps me humble to a certain degree. That keeps me knowing that, well, regardless of what I got going on, this guy's got a fight coming up. It really doesn't matter.
There you go. I know you so hit the nail right on the head. And this is, you know, God will put you in places to teach you things. And it seems like not only am I learning combat sports, it's really teaching me how to be selfless, because they're the ones getting ready for a fight. And if I can help them, it's hard because they're guys with kids and full-time jobs and bills and things like that. So I'm trying to get better at knowing the line between working them too hard and saying, hey man, you know, you're at a work night, or like, you know, you get sick or your kids get sick or whatever happens, to tell them to just chill. It's neat though. I will say, as far as Keaton, the Bulldog Underwood, Brandon, the last Ronin Whippy in Keokuk, with the guys out there, and Coach Joey Mueller, who's a really good fighter himself. We've got kind of a team.
Yeah. I think you guys do an awesome job out there. Honestly, I really do. Like, I think you guys kick ass. That gym is awesome. It's freaking packed every time I'm looking at a video in there. I think you guys do your thing. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, if I could talk for a second about something I thought about on the way over, please. It's just if anyone's listening to this and I'm talking about being misunderstood, being cocky, this will probably hit with people as I'll sound cocky saying this. But for some reason in my life, I have always been a catalyst.
Yep.
And so like, and I try to think, well, how long has this been going on? When I was 18 years old, I changed high schools. And that football team, I started both sides of the ball. We went to the playoffs for the first time in 18. That's so. Then, you know, more recently, I remember moving to Colorado to start a blues band with my cousin. And 2 years after we moved there, maybe not even that long, people were Facebook messaging me going, it seems like there's a whole music scene that started here now. It started right after you moved here, right?
Awesome.
And then, so Sanchez Boxing in Fort Madison was owned by Jack Eves. And I want to talk about him again in a second with regard to you.
Yeah.
But it was originally owned by this man named Jack Eves, who I never met. Then it was Sanchez Boxing, owned by Joe Sanchez. And he had some real good fighters in there back in 2019. When I first went in there, they were kind of all finishing their careers and or moving out of state.
Yep.
And so for years, it was a tomb. Mike Reed Randolph would work out in there.
Who's awesome, dude. Love that dude.
He's the best,
bro. And his vibes are awesome too. But
you got to have him on.
I do. I love that dude.
So, but me and Lorelai would go in when she was little, and you've seen little videos and pictures. But at those times, the place was empty. I mean, just empty. We'd go in and there would be nobody in there, and we didn't have a key yet. So we would go and Mike went. So it'd be the two of us and Mike and nobody else. And then since we've been going there, Mike bought the gym, and now look at it, it's packed. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I don't know what it is about, like, I seem to precede positive change somehow.
You do?
I hope I can claim that I'm some part of that.
Bro, it's your attitude and the way that you carry yourself. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is. Because, dude, like, literally, it is one of those things where, like, I completely see it 1,000%, because any time that you carry yourself the way that you do, you act the way that you do, and you have those vibes the way that you do, like just fighting, for example, people just want to be around it.
Yeah.
I mean, on Saturday mornings, you haven't been in here on a Saturday morning. On Saturday mornings, when we got fights coming up and there's guys training, there's freaking people in here just sitting in here like it's a barbershop, hanging out, talking shit. And that's the way it shines. No, I love it. I love it. It's my favorite time of the day. Where you sit it up.
Those gyms in Los Angeles where like Mark Wahlberg will go to watch whoever's training. And it's the same way there. And I've always told Lori, like, I told her the first time we went to an amateur event, we dressed up really nice. We ended up ringside. We didn't even buy the ticket. We just sat in these seats. And I was like, I always knew I'd be ringside with a beautiful lady. And then from there, when we go, with the exception of the time that I wore basically what I have on now, because I wanted to wear this hat.
Ooh, yes. Hey, that's my good luck hat most of the time.
It is. I try to, though, like a 3-piece suit God, you do. I will say you and your wife are always stunting. Every time I see you guys at the fights, you guys are stunting. I love it. To me, even more so than church. Like, I don't think Jesus really needs you to dress up. But I believe that when you go to the fights and you're there and let alone if you're sitting ringside, you're going there to watch a different kind of spectacle. It ain't football. It ain't softball.
Yeah.
It ain't basketball.
These guys are going to break each other's wheels down.
It's a 1% game. It's the fight game. It's a different type of animal. So we dress up because it's see and be seen, and we want those guys to know you and whoever we're there to watch fight. We want them to know that we know that it's important.
Yeah.
You know,
man, I love it. God dang it. I love it so much.
And I'm cocky and I'm arrogant and I'll look good.
And you have to. Again, like in this game, we just walk and talk and carry ourselves differently. And sometimes I see that it can be looked about a different way, and I get that. However, if you haven't either been in a position with somebody who has been there, or you haven't been there yourself, you just never understand, you know?
No,
you've cornered some guys before, Joey.
Just recently, I cornered
Let's talk about that real quick. What's it like? I want to know, because I have my buddy Robert Gates in here. Yeah, I aired his episode the other day. He's from Cedar Rapids Boxing Club. You know Gator, I think.
Yeah, Rob Gates.
Yeah, great guy.
That episode I tried to listen to on the way.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the thing with my Bluetooth.
Don't even worry about it. But man, you know, when I came up with him back in the old days, and he's just an OG, you know.
Yep.
And we got to talking about, you know, fights and how what you need to do to win these fights and so on and so forth. But now he's kind of cornering and coaching, and he doesn't like to refer to himself as a coach. I don't know why, but I feel the same way. He calls himself a water bottle holder, which is cool. But we talked a little bit about like that walk. So like when you first take that walk, and maybe that was your first walk where you were with a guy and you were cornering the guy, and you guys were you were headed out to go battle. What's that like for you when you're getting ready to come through the curtain and you're with your warrior, you know?
For me personally, the first time I did it, and both times it's been Tay Missile Dorsey at the True Rev MMA.
Yeah, great show, by the way.
Yeah, Bob Jolly does great.
He does a great job.
So for me, the first time it was really all about learning as much as I could learn about everything, and having some empathy and being. My friends call me an empath. I tried to just absorb as much of the energy as possible.
Yeah.
And
which is draining in itself, and man, you do a kick-ass job of it.
Well, I mean it. And so I learned a lot that night just about the way Brandon, because he's more primarily the coach, and I was what Rob said, I was a water bottle holder.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, I'm looking at Brandon because Tay was the underdog, and he ended up winning the fight by submission on a rear naked choke, and I'm basically listening to every word Brandon said and trying to watch the fight and listen to Brandon at the same time to hear the details. And then everything went into slow motion as he's get your hooks in, and what is happening? And then the fight was over, just like that. Everything seemed to go into slow motion, and then it was over, and Brandon's like, "Hey, we won," and he walked off to go. I'm like, "What?
That's awesome!"
And that was a great experience, and we won that night, and everybody was happy and everything else.
Yeah.
The next time, not quite the same.
Yep.
I felt like I had learned more, and so I took a little bit different approach. The walk itself, things got a little hinky in the backstage area. And there was maybe some personal issues going on that I have no business speaking on, but there was all kinds of vibes. So I once again just tried to absorb the vibes, and I spent a lot of time praying that night. But we got out there, and once again, Tay was the underdog. He was fighting a really, really good fighter, and he ended up losing, but he was probably from me to this curtain through the fence of the cage.
Yeah.
And that was the first time in my life that I've ever been close to somebody that I'm friends with, that I care about at all, let alone I'm helping any career I could help for this event, and they're 3 feet away and you cannot help. It's just you. There's 3 feet away from you. There's a fence, and it's heavy. It's utterly helpless feeling.
Yeah.
And so for
in there
being a guy that's new, I don't know, and I don't know if I felt worse because I'm still in the wall and processing all this.
And I tell these guys the same thing, right? And it's not necessarily that you should feel worse, but even though I'm going out there to fight, it really is up to these guys in here to help me get ready for that.
Yep.
And when I go down, we all go down. I'm not happy about it, but like you know, and you get these people who are like, oh, it's okay, we don't care that you lost, you know. But if we want to get real, the truth is they didn't pay fucking $80 to sit front row to watch me get beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that hurts to a certain degree, but that's the truth.
Well, that's why you're awesome, that you know, think about that. Because I don't know every fighter even thinks about.
When I win, we all win. That's the thing. And it's like, these guys are, you know, if you think that they're not pumped up about this thing weeks beforehand, you're wrong. If you think that they are getting dappered up and bringing their girl out,
Oh yeah,
and, you know, spraying the cologne on and they're pumped for a kick-ass night, you're wrong.
no,
And then you lose.
Yep.
And it just changes the whole mood. It's tough on both ends.
Oh, you're right about that. I mean, when me and Lori have been to the Extreme Maximus, this one on May 30th will be the first one ever that I'm actually technically.
I can't wait to get to that fight.
I'm gonna
Humbly on it.
I'm gonna be there in my usual ringside self at some point, but otherwise I'm technically working it. But you're right when you say that we start, and this is what's crazy. We start thinking about like what we're gonna wear, like we want to put together a cool outfit.
Yeah.
Do you know where we go to shop?
Where?
We go to all the Goodwill stores in Quincy.
Bro, I love it. Yes, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm in there. So I'm in there.
Being misunderstood. Last night I went out with my wife on a really sweet date night. We went to a company party that they were having for retirement. Then we went from there and I sang some karaoke. But I was wearing like a sweet blue vest and a white dress shirt and some jeans and tennis shoes. The only thing about my outfit that was kind of expensive was my tennis shoes.
I love it.
Everything else I was wearing was either Walmart or Goodwill.
Yep, I like it.
It's not about where you buy the clothes. It's about how you wear the clothes.
Bro, hey, that goes back to like, that's you. I mean, it's literally one of those things where I say, it is about how you carry yourself. It is about literally, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter if your shit's from Goodwill. It doesn't matter where your shit's from. Sure. It's about, hey, it ain't the dog in the fight. It's the fight in the dog. And here at the Doghouse, we're all about the dogs in the fights.
Yeah. Oh, dog pound MMA, doghouse.
Yeah, I know they get them mixed up. I don't even, you know, when I originally kicked this thing off, it was just because I had my dog Diesel at the time. And there was some stuff that happened at the last gym, and love a lot of them guys to death still, but it was like, well, I'm going to go somewhere where I can do my thing, create my own fight camp. And I just know the things that I need, you know? And so along came my dog. The Doghouse gym was developed, and that's how that happened, which was pretty cool. So
yeah,
that's, oh man. So when you're getting ready to come out of the curtain, what types of things are you feeling? Like, you're there with your boy. You guys are marching to war. And I get that it's a sport, and maybe that's part of the reason I get a little bit of a hard time for the way I look at things, because as much as I love you and your guys, right? When we fight each other, I hate you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know how else to do it any other way. If it was a basketball game, I probably wouldn't feel as hard about it.
Oh man.
But it's like, bro, these guys are going to war. I can't be your friend right now. Hey, beat us up, and I'll come and love you up when we're done, and we'll talk at the after party. But yeah, I mean, like, it's really like that for me.
And this is, you forced me to really think about what I felt in those moments and what I might feel in this moment with Keaton and with Brandon in this next deal, because I'm even more personally invested with those guys.
Yeah. And bro, you're on their team. I mean, you are part of their camp. You are part of the leaders of their camp, you know?
So, and this is going to sound crazy, I honestly, as competitive as I am, I hate losing. I hate losing. Excuse me if I'm not supposed to say that.
No, you could.
I hate losing.
I hate losing more than I like to win.
Me too. And it's my worst quality. It's literally my worst quality, because I've had like my daughter Lorelai go from one competitive basketball team and had it dissolved to where two more teams formed, and then she was sort of the odd person out.
Yep.
So when we went back to play against those teams, like, these are people that are good friends of mine, and I'm having trouble not hating them.
Yeah.
Because of ability in basketball.
I get it. When it is like that, though.
It's probably, my competitiveness can be my worst quality. So I try to think, walking out there, you can't get attached to results.
Yeah.
All you want to see.
I like that.
You want to see my fighter fight their best fight.
Yeah.
With Lorelai, with Keaton coming up, with Tay going back, with Brandon, all I really want to see is go fight your best fight.
Yeah.
You don't win it, you might win, you might lose, you might win by knockout, you might get knocked out. I don't know what's going to happen, can't control what's going to happen. But if you go out and you do what you practiced, and you put on your best performance that you could possibly put on that day,
yeah,
And again, it's that day. You never know what you're going to do. You might wake up the morning of the fight with the worst headache you've had for like some weird reason.
Ruben.
Yeah, I mean, so things happen, and you can't get attached to the results, and that's been a hard lesson for me to learn.
I'm not even there yet
because I hate losing.
Yeah, I'm not even there yet. Same thing for me. And part of the thing is this. It's, the old quote goes, if you learn from all your mistakes and you never quit, how could you lose? Which is true. But we also live in a game that's played on paper.
Oh, yeah.
It's not played in real life.
They're going to put a 1 or a 0.
Yeah, or 1. And and that's going to be there forever, Joey. I'm here to tell you. And I've said it 1,000 times. Some of those losses just tear me up because, that one mark in that loss column just tears you to pieces. I don't even know why it is that way, but it's because it's the game that we play. And even though we're going to take these lessons and we're going to use them throughout my entire life, which it's not a loss. In life, it's not a loss. In life, it is a lesson that I am going to learn, that I am going to create instances for and not let happen again. However, on paper, it's a loss forever and ever. And man, those things are tough to get through sometimes. And shit, I don't blame you one bit. I mean, even when I love these guys, I fought a freaking handful of guys. Devin Gonzalez is one of them. Freaking love that dude. Awesome wrestler from Lisbon. Wet pro and did his thing, But and we're great buddies to this day. But bro, when it came time for us to fight, that dude is the farthest thing from my friend I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I don't know that it's like that in basketball and other sports. I would like to know.
Only
but wrestling, the same way.
It was just Fort Madison.
Yeah, right. Oh shit. But
oh shit, that's funny. That is funny.
No, man, it's a zero. In one regard, it's a zero-sum game. You're going to go in there and you're going to win and you're going to lose.
Yep.
But at the same time, like just getting around amateur boxing in the beginning of this whole deal, I tell people,
"Ooh, Gold Glove's coming up next week. Are you coming?"
I doubt it.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to go to this event in Ottumwa on May 2nd.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
But I figured out pretty quickly why they give a medal to the loser. Like both people getting into the ring, it's to get in there, you're still part of the 1%. These are the two people that got in there and lost. And so it's one of those, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all?
Man, that's true. God damn, I don't think about it like that, but guy, that's right.
But yeah,
that is true. I can't ever be.
You can't keep your edge if you become too okay with losing. And I see this in kids all the time. I see this in Lorelei sometimes, where it's like a season will go bad or a tournament will go bad, and it's just, and so you have to remind them that, it's okay to get angry, but that's the whole problem. You don't want their fire to burn the house down, but you want that fire to stay lit.
Hey, and that's the line. I mean, that literally is the line. Is the bomber in here? Thought I heard the bomber coming here. Maybe not. That's the line, because the hard part is, where do you draw it? It has to be drawn.
It has to be drawn.
And man, I'm not good at that either.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the whole it takes a village mentality with kids. It's the same way with a team sport and the fight game. You have a team of people surrounding one person.
Yep.
And that's in football, the offensive line's job is to block and the receiver's job is to go catch the ball and so forth. But in the fight game, you have this whole team. Everyone sort of has their role of positive reinforcement versus negative reinforcement versus good. And I've already been in some good cop, bad cop situations.
Yep.
You got one guy that's coaching, okay, dude, you be the bad cop and I'll be the good cop.
Hey, it has to be that way, whatever the trick is.
Yeah. And so it does matter, like you said earlier, how you surround yourself with people. And if we have to finish soon, before I forget to tell you,
we got all the time in the world for you, JB. You kidding me?
Thank you. Jack Eves owned Sanchez Boxing originally, which is now Fort Madison Fighters Guild.
Yep.
And
which is a great spot, by the way. Hey, you guys are around. If there's anybody around Fort Madison area, make sure you guys go check these guys out. They're awesome.
Thank you. So there's still people that I meet all the time, including Keaton, who I'm helping get ready for this fight, and people who have kids in high school in Keokuk right now that are like, yeah, I used to send my son to Jack. And they're like, they stats them for some. They come in the restaurant that I work at, and they're like, oh yeah, I used to train with Jack, and man, are they still boxing in that gym? Who owns it now? And it's everyone remembers that guy. He's passed away. His ghost is still in the gym. That's awesome. The other day, Aubrey opened up the gym, turned on the lights, and one of the heavy bags on a row with 4 of them was waving by itself.
Shut the front door.
But
that's awesome.
But no one forgets. So you're training with these kids, so. And I don't want you to be.
Is the llama in here?
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, we have a visitor. It's Ross. It's White Tyson's dad in the house. What up, champ? What's up? Hey, grab that chair. Open that thing up. What do you want? What do you know? Not much. What are you bringing? Some goodies by you?
Oh, you need that, bro. You need that.
Oh man, I'm dog supplies.
Yeah.
Oh. The doghouse gym. It is the doghouse gym. It is. We're gonna get to this. I don't know what's up with this dog supplies, but I like where your head is at.
Yeah.
On the what up? A Boris's puppy. Oh man. We are currently in the doghouse gym on the podcast, and there's a black lab that is being brought to me. Say hello to your baby. This is my dog. Big Tuck. But how do you?
I get to be on the air without getting a dog. Are you serious?
We just buddy.
What? That is gorgeous. It's mine out.
Hold on. Zach, I'm going to pull my camera out, get a picture of this shit. Bro, Zach Mills was just handed the most beautiful little black lab puppy dog. So some friends at the gym, I thought I had a meeting yet, but I was sub. I'm going to get a picture of Zach.
What up? What's up, dude? How are you? What's up? Oh my God.
Seriously, the doghouse gym. This is the coolest. This is one of the cities I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just gonna drink my sodas.
For those of you who don't know, man, been going through it. Had a dog. It was taken from me on some real crazy stuff. It's a whole bunch of craziness. What's up, dude? And now I'm sitting here with this black lab. And gosh dang it. Hey, remember how I just got done telling you that I was going through some shit, but I had my team?
Oh yeah. Here you go.
Bro, straight up. That's what it is. Hey, it's freaking nuts.
So does he have a name already or no? No. What is that?
They called him Gray, but Zach gets to name him whatever. I'll go over this. All right, you guys make.
What up, dude? What is up? How are you, champ?
What? You got a dog, and I had the sparring partner from my daughter.
To chill. Oh my gosh. Wow, what a surprise. Holy cow, you could call it Jam Mills. Yeah, I'm gonna. Gosh, I don't even know. I'm at a loss for where I'd love to go. It's. Joe, I don't even know what to say right now. It's crazy. Man.
Wow. So before I back to the puppy in a second, I just wanted to say, remember, these kids are going to remember you.
Yep.
Like they do Jack Eves. They're going to be someday in 30, 40, 50 years. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I used to train with Zach. Is that gym still open? You remember Zach? Zach was the best. Zach. They're going to be talking about you when you're gone. Like Troy, the movie Troy with Achilles. Like they will remember your name.
That is freaking nuts.
And that's one of the coolest things about you guys. And anyway, the dog. What are we guys name this puppy?
I feel like I need to name him Champ. That was,
So who are the folks that tell you all about?
So I'm just going to get into it because those are Christian's mom and dad.
Okay.
White Tyson. I happened to get into a very small relationship. It lasted less than 2 months. And I come into the relationship. This girl already had her own dog.
Okay.
This is after Diesel had passed. And I wanted a dog. I wanted a dog in the worst way. I found one, basically like a rehoming thing, $100. He was out in Des Moines area, and got the dog. But in doing that, she had paid a cash app for $100 to the dog, and I had paid her $100 in cash.
So transactionally, I see where you're going.
So before my fight, things started going crazy. She tried to rip my fight shorts away from me. Wasn't gonna do fight shirts. Took all of this equipment that I had in the back of her vehicle, wouldn't give it back. Just all this crazy shit I was dealing with before my fight. And then as the fight happened, I was still with Champ. She went and filed some crazy court thing because she had proof of the $100 Cash App to get some sort of repleveling of whatever she thought was hers, I guess. And mind you, at the same time, she's stalking me. She's driving by my house all the time. She's put mail in my mailbox because I have no contact with her. She's still emailing me to this day.
Really?
It's insanity, really.
Man.
And so she had got the sheriffs to come and take my dog away from me, bro, and rip my dog out of my hands. And man, it was.
What's up, buddy? The folks listening to show Champ. The new king, but he's not sure what's going.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on here? But so yeah, that's what happened. And I know. How are you? Welcome to the show. Man, I'm gonna hit it on that. Dang it, Joe. You are the man.
Hey, you're the man.
Hey, we're gonna go watch this movie though. Let's go catch this flick. And gosh, you are the man. Love you huge. Thanks for listening to Doghouse Podcast. We're out of here. What's up, babies?
Dude, that was cool.
What's up? Holy cow.
Okay.
Got that all recorded too.
I can pet this dog now.
Yes.